One Amazon seller nearly lost $1 million brand overnight. But because they filed a patent before they launched, they turned a potential disaster into a massive win. Here's how it happened and why you need to prepare before you're a target. Here's the backstory. This seller was accustomed to launching many different products, and they really didn't patent them typically. This was more of an anomaly that they happened to patent this product. This company had many products in the pipeline, and eventually this kitchen product worked its way up to being launched, and it grew rather quickly. They were doing $80,000 a month with this product, and they were on track to $1 million annually. Then, in typical fashion, copycats flooded the market. The prices were driven down by competition by 30 to 40%. All of the ad campaigns tanked, and as a result, they went from #1 in their category to practically invisible almost overnight. And the lesson is that Amazon rewards lower prices, not competition. They reward people that bid on pay-per-click, not the originator of the product. If your product gains traction, competitors will copy it. Most sellers at this point panic because they have no patent, no trademark, no brand registry protection, no trade dress protection. But this brand was different because even though they weren't paying much attention to it, they had already filed a patent application before they launched. At that moment, when they started to panic, they realized that there was nothing they can do. Within the next few months, their patent was granted. And all of a sudden, they had the ability to do something about these copycats. Here's the two-part strategy that this seller luckily followed this time. The first part is filing patent applications before launch. You could file a design patent to protect the ornamental appearance of the product, and you could file utility patents to protect any functional, structural aspects of the product. And that second part, fast enforcement action on Amazon, it happens by submitting an IP complaint through their Seller Central account. Companies should also file for brand registry status with their trademark application. And the results were that within 2 weeks, the infringing copycats were taken down. Sales bounced back to pre-copycat levels. The copycats did not come back because they knew that if they did so, they would just be taken down. And this is the biggest mistake that sellers make. Most sellers say, I'll protect my IP later, once I'm bigger. The problem is by the time you're bigger, it's already too late. If your product has a unique appearance, a functional improvement, or custom packaging or presentation, you need to protect it before you're a success. Let's look at a few overlooked protections that you should file. One is trademark applications, because trademark applications will make you eligible for brand registry, which could be a powerful tool for shutting down sellers that copy your branding. There's also trade dress protection, which goes beyond the name or the logo that people typically think of when they think of trademarks. With trade dress, you can protect elements of the way in which you present your product in the marketplace. And so when people are fooled by a competitor's listing when they have a similar look and feel, you might be able to stop them with trade dress protection. Think about the way that Apple packages and presents its products. Apple uses trade dress to prevent other people from fooling the public into buying their product through their packaging and presentation. And of course, copyrights protect images, text, and other content. And these can be an effective tool when people copy your listing images and copy other content aspects of your product and product listing. What happens if the copycat fights back and they dispute that they're really infringing your patent? Amazon has an internal escalation process called Apex. When you have a utility patent granted, you can use Apex to escalate the claim and have it viewed by a patent attorney who will consider whether infringement is really taking place. Apex is Amazon's arbitration process, and it's used for serious IP disputes over utility patents. With the Apex process, you assert that other sellers are infringing your utility patent, and you list the ASINs, the Amazon Seller Identification Number, for each of those sellers, and you submit a form to Amazon to ask them to start the Apex process. Once they accept you into the Apex program, they'll send notice to the sellers of those ASINs and ask them to participate in the Apex arbitration with you. When they agree to participate, they'll put up a $4,000 deposit, and you'll put up a $4,000 deposit, and ultimately the winner gets their deposit back. But more important than that, if through the arguments you make, you're able to convince the arbitrator that these sellers are infringing your patent, then those listings will be removed permanently. If you're unable to convince Amazon that there is likely infringement present, then their listings will stay active. If you're going to do any of this enforcement, you need to work with a patent attorney that's savvy about the Amazon system, because not all patent attorneys understand how Amazon works. It's not always congruent with the way the law works or the way that enforcement takes place in courts. And so you need to be working with an attorney that understands how to work the Amazon system, because then they'll have experience filing IP claims with Amazon. They can work to fast track your brand registry, and they know how to escalate the situation to Amazon legal or by doing an apex in the appropriate situations. Are you selling on Amazon? What's your biggest fear around copycats and about product protection? Drop your story in the comments, but don't share any details or confidential information. Let's learn from each other's experience. If you're serious about protecting your Amazon business, the best time to file for protection is before you launch. The second best time is today. Book a free strategy call using the link in the description. And grab my book, The ABA Consumer Guide to Obtaining a Patent. It's written for sellers like you. Next up, watch How to File Your First Patent, a step-by-step guide. I'll see you there.